Super Bowl champion Rob Gronkowski is gassed up for the matchup with the heavyweight reference telling Kay Adams this. The Eagles opened the floodgate of, hey, if you punch these guys in the face, if you come out swinging, they're going to fold, and they're not going to be the team you saw all last year. S.A., you buying Gronk's comments?
No, I think Gronk is buying my comments. I said it first, damn it. I've been saying it for the last 2-3 months, if not longer. What has happened? I said that the Eagles they got Kansas City punch drunk. I walked into the season believing that the aura of invincibility, per se, that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs had attached to them had drastically diminished, because it's not about losing, because anybody could lose. It's how you went down. And I used a boxing analogy, which is appropriate because I'm here in Vegas for arguably the biggest fight of this decade between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. What did I say? RC, DO, anybody can get clipped. Anybody can get caught. We understand that. But when you get your ass kicked, that's an entirely different thing altogether. And the Kansas City Chiefs got bum rushed. It was so bad for the Chiefs, the cameras didn't even show Taylor Swift. They said, we don't want to do that to her. We don't want to do that to the Swifties. This is how bad it was. I mean, they got stomped. And when that happens, and you are a team, you're an NFL team, and you're watching the Eagles not blitz one time in the Super Bowl, sending 4, dropping 7 back into coverage. You're talking about, what is it, 9 plays, and you can't do anything. 12 of your first 13 offensive possessions was 5 plays or less. Complete, utter domination. Spotted them 34 points before you scored a point. They got robbed. And if you're an NFL opponent and you see that, you're like, wait a minute. We respect Kansas City. We know what they bring to the table. But damn, we ain't see them get humbled like this. Yes, they can be had. And I do think that aura of invincibility has been touched quite significantly.
I'm gonna tell you.
I want to apologize for not giving him credit for that. We should have never shared Gronk's comments. That was messed up.
Next time, quote your source.
Seriously.
And I'm gonna say this.
You don't give it to me, I'm gonna take it.
I'm gonna say this, Stephen A, because I know you don't drink. You must be punch drunk too out there in Vegas. Because I'm gonna say this. There is no champion that hasn't gotten up off the mat. There is no champion that's had to pull himself off the ropes. There is no champion that's had to be coached in his corner how to fight back and win the next round after losing one. You don't go to the AFC Championship every time since being the starting quarterback and never have learned to rebound. I get it. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles and you think about that game and you say to yourself, I've never seen the Kansas City Chiefs look like this, unless you go back to 2020, 2021, look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl when they were punched in the mouth and when they found a way to rebound. All this team has ever done is get up off of the mat. But because we see them on top all the time, because we see them getting their hand raised at the end of the bouts, we always think of them as winners. But this is the team that knows how to fight. This is the team in Andy Reid that has the toughest training camp in the NFL every single year. And you got your sports mixed up. See, football ain't boxing. Football is MMA. It's mixed martial arts, right? It's the UFC. Don't nobody go undefeated, right? That's why we talk about Khabib the way we talk about him. That's why we talk about John Jones the way we talk about him. Because you don't go undefeated. The best of the best of the best have lost. And then they get to the top of the mountain and they hold the championship belt, and we respect them for what they've been through. And that's who the Kansas City Chiefs are. Now, if a team is better, if a roster is better, if they get outplayed, then that's going to happen. But it ain't going to be because this team is scared to fight and doesn't know how to take a punch.
Well, before D.O. goes, first of all, if I got my sports wrong, you got your facts wrong, because Nurmagomedov never lost. John Bones Jones didn't lose in the UFC.
That's
so
why
the fact of the matter, I mean, they in the UFC.
Stephen A.
That's
Stephen
what I'm
A.
saying. I'm just using your analogy. That's what
That was the point.
Yes,
the point I made was that's why we hold both of them in such high regard, because they never lost in the UFC.
Right. Okay. All right. No problem. What I'm saying to you is this: in the end, when it comes down to, I got it. What I'm saying to you is this, and I'll pass it to D.O. This is RC talking, D.O. Think about this for a second. You trying to tell me, this is the part that gets tricky. So you trying to tell me you see a team get stomped like that, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, a team that's been to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls, that looks relatively invincible, and you see them get beat like that, and you as a potential future opponent Don't look at them and say, aha, I'm seeing something today that I didn't see before. Not that you can't, of course they're still explosive. Of course they're still great. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the fear factor that they may have instilled in you may have been compromised to some degree. A champion like Gronk pointed that out, and I agree with him.
I don't question the Chiefs' toughness. I question their ability to be explosive on offense.
Yeah.
I think there's real football questions about where their offense is right now, because if you go back to last season, their inability to be explosive with the football down the field, and when they do not hit it, that's more concerning to me than getting punched in the mouth. And so that's going to be the thing that would keep them away from the Super Bowl once again. It's not the physical, it's not the toughness. This defense got Chris Jones on it, man. This is a defense that has been probably one of the most physical defenses in football. So I have questions and foreshadowing concerns about the offense and the way that it plays football and their ability to go do that, but I don't question their toughness. And Stephen A., and respectfully to Gronk, stop using the Super Bowl as a comparison of, okay, this is how to go do it. One, that defensive line for Philadelphia had two cats go in free agency and get $100 million deals with Milton Williams and Josh Sweat. Two, they had the defensive player of the year, or defensive rookie of the year, in Jalen Carter. So there's not a lot of defensive lines that are replicating the amount of talent that group had. Maybe Denver this year, maybe when it comes to that. So it's not like every defense that the Chiefs are going to play against has the horsepower when it comes to the Eagles. The Eagles were going to whoop up on a lot of offensive lines in that Super Bowl, okay? So I don't agree with the punch them in the face and they don't know how to respond thing, but I will say that this offense has question marks that if it does not get fixed and get better, the Super Bowl is not a conversation.
I think that's the conversation to be had, right?
Correct.
Whether Tyquan Thornton, who I saw in game one, seemed to be the deep ball guy, especially once Xavier Worthy was injured. Can he make some big plays for you? Can Hollywood Brown, who has the big fourth down
Can
catch,
Worthy get help?
Can he start to push right?
What's Rice
What does Rashee Rice look like when he comes back? Those are the questions that we should be asking about the Chiefs. And this is the other question I have about them, Dano and Stephen A. The loss of Justin Reed, who's now a New Orleans Saints,
defense
right?
didn't look great.
When you look at this defense and the way they're pieced together on the back end when it comes to their blitz responsibilities and coverage, that wasn't good.
Agree.
The open field tackling, the communication wasn't great. We haven't seen Steve Spagnuolo's defense look like that in a very long time. That was concerning to me. But it's not about physicality.
Well, here's the part that's making me laugh. See, I don't mind deferring to y'all when it comes to football. But when it comes to creating narratives, who do y'all think y'all should be deferring to?
No question.
Be my lane.
No question. You
that
the
would
one.
be my lane.
You the one.
And so there we go. So my point to you is this. We can get technical with it all we want to about, okay, I'm using the words like punk drunk, I'm simplifying it or whatever. Y'all go into the nuances of all with the expertise that y'all religiously provide us, which I'm very appreciative of. You just pointed out their secondary. You talk about how their defense was being